And don't forget to order your copy of Football Game Plan's latest book, Stiff Arming Football Myths, an excellent book that you can find on our website at footballgameplan.com/books, available in both PDF as well as paperback form.
Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you our 2014 NFL team preview for the St. Louis Rams. We're going to take a look at their offense, their defense, as well as their special teams. So let's start off on the offensive side of the football with the quarterback position.
I like Sam Bradford. I think he's a guy that can ultimately take the Rams where they want to go. He was playing some great football prior to the injury, and that's his major focus, staying healthy. And if offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer opens up the offense, he could definitely fulfill his potential. The Rams brought in veteran Sean Hill to be the backup, and he's proven to be solid when given the opportunity. The Rams have a wealth of talent here in the backfield with Zach Stacy and rookie third-round pick Trey Mason out of Auburn. Both guys can be feature backs but are also capable of working well in a tandem. They give the Rams a solid 1-2 punch in the running game. Benny Cunningham, as an undrafted free agent last year, contributed on offense as well as a kickoff returner, but keep an eye on undrafted rookie free agent Trey Watts out of Tulsa, who was the best returner in college football and a multifaceted weapon that gives you a lot as a runner, as a receiver, and also as a kickoff and punt returner. In my opinion, he can beat out Isaiah Peed, who has been a disappointment so far. Contrary to popular belief, the Rams have a pretty good receiving core. They played great toward the latter part of the season as Schottenheimer opened up the offense. Austin Pettis has the best hands of the group. Brian Quick and Chris Givens, both drafted in 2012, are making huge strides. And last year's draft picks Tavon Austin and Stedman Bailey are expected to be more involved in the offense this year. Austin more in particular because he's a game breaker who finished second on the team last season despite being critically underutilized. In free agency, they brought in veteran Kenny Britt from the Tennessee Titans, but if they keep 7 wide receivers, undrafted rookie free agent Austin Franklin out of New Mexico State has a great chance to stick as he's a very tough, reliable slot wide receiver. At tight end, the Rams are equally as talented. Both Jared Cook, who was first on the team last year in receiving, and Lance Kendricks are matchup problems in the passing game and both do well in run blocking. Undrafted free agent Alex Baer out of Bowling Green is a great flex H-back type that's dangerous after the catch, while Justice Cunningham has good value as a run blocker. This is where a lot of focus went in the offseason for the Rams. Number one, the health of left tackle Jake Long and right guard Roger Saffold are key. Both guys are integral parts to the success of the offense as a whole. Right tackle Joe Barksdale has gotten better each and every year, and guys like Tim Barnes, Davin Joseph, and Brandon Washington provide capable depth. Left guard and center are where it gets interesting. In the first round this year, the Rams selected Greg Robinson out of Auburn, who can play either tackle spot as well as guard. Now, the latter is where he'll start as a rookie and, in my opinion, has Walter Jones-like ability. At center, longtime vet Scott Wells is there and is listed as a starter, but keep an eye on last year's 4th-round pick Barrett Jones out of Alabama, who essentially redshirted last season and is another versatile talent up front that can play anywhere along that offensive line. It wouldn't surprise me to see him start at some part this season. In my opinion, the Rams have the best defensive line in the NFC West. They're led by defensive ends Chris Long and Robert Quinn, who combined for 27.5 sacks, which was more than half of the 53 they had as a team. Defensive tackle Michael Brockers made huge strides last year as a one-tech, being effective versus the run, while also chipping in with 5.5 sacks. But all eyes will be on sensational rookie Aaron Donald out of Pitt, who played the 3-tech position, and the Rams hope that his pass rushing ways on the inside just makes life even tougher on opposing quarterbacks. And this is a pretty deep unit as well, with Eugene Sims, William Hayes, and Kendall Langford, all of whom are capable of starting at any point in time. And in free agency, they signed Alex Carrington from the Buffalo Bills and drafted Michael Sam out of Missouri in the 7th round. Say what you want about Sam. In my opinion, he was the better of the two players at Missouri, he and Coney Ely, and the Rams definitely got themselves a steal. The Rams were 9th versus the run last year, and the big reason why was the play of the linebacking core. Both middle linebacker James Laurinaitis and weak side backer Alec Ogletree combined for 299 tackles. Laurinaitis excels on both ends of defense, while as a rookie, Ogletree led the team in tackles with 155. Strong side linebacker Jolon Dunbar played some solid ball last year after returning from suspension, and I like both Phillip Stewart and Ray Armstrong. Armstrong is a very good special teamer, while Stewart, in my opinion, is a much better strong side backer than Dunbar and could push for playing time. Also, keep an eye on undrafted rookie free agent Aaron Hill out of Minnesota, who has a great chance to make the squad as a backup to Laurinaitis. I'm a big fan of the Rams secondary now with Greg Williams as the defensive coordinator. Look for the back end to be much more aggressive in creating turnovers. Janoris Jenkins and Tremaine Johnson are listed as the two starting cornerbacks, and both guys have tremendous ball skills. And in the draft, they selected LaMarcus Joyner out of Florida State, who I gave a first-round grade to, and who is very similar to the Cardinals' Tyrann Mathieu in the sense that he can play corner or safety, the run and the pass equally as effective, and also has those elite ball skills that you look for. Free agent Greg Reed, if healthy, could prove to be a steal. He could also help out as a returner, and he'll have to compete with last year's 5th-round pick Brandon McGee, who had your typical ups and downs as a rookie, as well as 6th-round pick E.J. Gaines out of Missouri, who excels in off coverage and also has very good instincts. Undrafted rookie free agent Marcus Robeson out of Florida is another player that could also be in the mix. At safety, T.J. McDonald performed well last year as a rookie and should have a lot of success under Williams. And at free safety, Ryder McLeod, who's good versus the run but doesn't make enough game-changing plays in the passing game. So I would expect rookie 4th-round pick Mo Alexander out of Utah State to see some extended playing time, having played both corner and safety for the Aggie. The Rams' kicking game is outstanding with kicker Greg Zuerlein and punter Johnny Hecker. Hecker was an All-Pro last year, averaging 46.9 yards a punt, while Zuerlein boasted an impressive 92.3% kicking percentage, going 26 out of 28 on his field goal attempts. The return game is also in good hands with Tavon Austin and Benny Cunningham, but I think Cunningham could be pushed by undrafted free agent Trey Watts out of Tulsa, who averaged 25 yards a kickoff return with 2 touchdowns in college. The Rams have a very good defense that can get to the quarterback, and they're also solid at the 2nd and 3rd level with a ton of athleticism. New defensive coordinator Greg Williams will definitely add some exotic blitzes that'll create more opportunities. They get back Sam Bradford, and the skill positions are strong, and they've done enough up front to give fans in St. Louis a lot of optimism. The cause for concern would be the health of the offensive line. You wonder about both Long and Saffold being and staying at 100% all season long. You also wonder if Sam Bradford can build on what we saw last year, and the same can be said for offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer. And playing in a very tough NFC West is another cause for concern because there's no room for error. The road to the Super Bowl for the Rams goes as follows. Number 1, Sam Bradford builds on what he did last year, and that offense begins to take flight. They have a lot of weapons around him, and if he can build on what he did in 2013, they can definitely go far. And the secondary has to be able to make plays on the football. I like what they've added with LaMarcus Joyner, even T.J. McDonald in his 2nd year as safety. Even when you look at Greg Williams coming in as the defensive coordinator, added pressure in the front end will help out the back end, but they have to make those plays in order to get the ball back to that offense, and the offense has to be able to sustain drives. Last year, they were tied for 28th in the NFL on 3rd downs. They have to be able to sustain drives. Remember, they have one of the best kickers in the game. If they can extend those drives and keep their defense off the field and fresh, they can definitely make some noise, not only in the NFC West, but in the NFC as a whole. I have the Rams finishing 4th in the NFC West. Very tough division. I think the Rams could have 9 wins and still finish 4th. They'll be solid on both sides of the ball and on special teams, but I think the lingering questions up front was just enough to keep them on the outside looking in. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Ram fan forums for always showing football game plan support.